We're gonna get back on that Eliza Hittman. Hey guys, welcome to Pillbox Movies. I'm Hank, and today we're gonna be watching the 2020 Eliza Hittman drama Never Really, Sometimes Always. Did I get that right the first time? I think I got that right.
LOL, no, I fucking didn't.
We're on our way of completing the trifecta on Eliza Hittman, adding her to the very, very, very short list of directors whose entire oeuvre I've seen feature film. I saw It Felt Like Love back in 2014, 2012, 2014 in New York. Hated it. I watched Beach Rats on this channel.
Take off your shoes, dude. Disgusting.
Last year, thought it was pretty good, and so why not? The hype around Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always has been tremendous, and so I figured I'd check it out. It's always good to have a independent female Brooklyn filmmaker represent, so why not? Focus features, iconic focus features, iconic opening to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. What other movies has focus features produced? I remember that trailer from back in the day. I think definitely the Motorcycle Diaries. I'm already liking the opening. Yo, did somebody up the saturation on Eliza Hittman's movies? You got color now. How you doing this? We got a David Lynch opener, Mulholland Drive. I'm excited because this is a very, very different look for Eliza Hittman, but I'm also a little scared because it's so different. Oh shoot, I should look up the cast for this. I don't know any of these actors' names. I know she's the lead girl, I think. Power of love! Oh, get out of here. This seems a little bit more Hittman-ish. This soundscape, ooh. Okay, that's definitely Hittman-ish.
Tell her how great she was.
It's kind of hard to compliment someone who's always in a foul mood. Keep telling yourself that.
It's the dude from The Blacklist? Our family's just like mean like this all the time. We're gonna find out what silly, minimalist, indie composer contributed to the soundtrack of this. I don't hate it. I mean, I guess maybe kind of prego.
Are you feeling any better? Not really.
Get her head. She needs to get her head checked.
Great dad. Great dad. Why you gotta tease me like this, Eliza? One scene of color saturation, and then it's back to this muted stuff. It's not that I dislike Eliza Hittman's aesthetic. I like it for what it is. But why tease me like this?
What brings you here today? I just haven't been feeling that well lately. How old are you? 17.
Same age
Does Mom
as
know you're
the boy in
No, she's working.
Beach Rats. Ew, that doesn't seem sanitary at all.
So just dip it in here.
I'm getting the sense that this is
that a
meant
test
to
from the supermarket?
portray like
Yes.
how a clinic would
I told you it was a self-administered
look and
test.
seem, like in a kind of like a boony environment, or like a less less wealthy state. This is like this is screaming boony to me.
That looks like a positive. If it's positive, is there any way it could be negative? No. A positive is always a positive.
Me talking to a girl I like. I want to be the actor. I wonder if they got like a real pamphlet, which they probably didn't, but I want to see the casting call for like the photo stand-ins I got for that pamphlet. Oh god. Don't do it. Are we watching The Distance from here? Girl, you are not giving yourself an ear piercing. It's already unsanitary with you blowing on it like that. Okay, she is giving herself a piercing. Metal as fuck. Is that the right gauge? If you just like stuck a safety pin in your nose, would that be the right gauge to get like a piercing?
10, 20, 30, 40, Wait, not at the same time. You messed me up.
I hate counting cash. That's just the worst. There's always some asshole who's got to prove they can count cash faster than you.
Are you okay? What's wrong? Girl problems? Bad cramps? Yeah.
Just as a stylistic choice that indie directors employ,
Every month.
I love the understated acting in indie movies. Understated script writing, understated acting. Oh, genuine fave of mine.
I like that thing.
I can always take or leave, like bombastic, thrilling, virtuoso performances. Seeing non-actors or close to non-actors or inexperienced actors, or even experienced actors like Samantha Morton in Mover and Collar, just like flatline dialogue and delivery. Chef's kiss. Yeah, it's good that you got a real test.
This is your beautiful baby. You are about 10 weeks along, and this is the most magical sound you will ever hear.
Insert My Bloody Valentine. honestly, pretty daring for a filmmaker who is also a parent and a mother to insert a scene of a potential parent listening to a heartbeat and being devastated by the sound. Pretty daring.
This is a lot to take in, but I'm sure once you have that beautiful baby in your arms, you'll forget you ever had any doubts.
I just can't imagine that for myself.
Are you abortion-minded? Do you have a minute? Could I show you something?
Don't do it. I don't want to see it. I don't. I know it exists in the real world. I don't want to see it. Not right now. I'm a little bit sensitive right now. She's a little bit sensitive. Don't show her these things. Damn, what are you gonna do? Should probably make abortions more widely available. Perhaps not, prevent access. I don't remember if this was, I guess it was semi-prevalent in It Felt Like Love, but Hittman as a director is very interested in showing kind of like edge cases in poverty and how like people handle like extreme circumstances while also being like financially insecure. And along those lines, a recurring theme in the movies that I've seen of hers is kind of the intersection between poverty and self-medication. Characters like try and solve problems or alleviate problems through uses of like over-the-counter or illicit drugs. I'm hungry. I want some Dutch-style sausages. I guess in a kind of like a running atmosphere or motif, and continuing on from the first scene to like give a sense of like culture or background. There's a lot of like 50s throwbacks that are happening in this town, whether it be the talent show that was displayed in the opening scene, or the kind of like a croony kind of music that's playing in the market that they're working at.
I took a test.
I would have guessed from kind of the outdoors locations that they shot at when they left the school that this was kind of like a city area like Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, but the actual like culture, the musical culture, I don't know. I don't know if it would point me in that direction. Snydersville? Who ever heard of Snydersville? New York? You gotta go all the way to New York? Like, it seems like you should, restrict access to abortion centers. Beautiful. Really. Love it. Ugly. Just terrible. Terrible shot in comparison. Why put your prettiest shot next to your ugliest? And there's our poster. I would honestly love the opportunity to work with a small, sensitive director like this, just to do like one of these intimate pieces and have the opportunity to act in a way where just not acting at all, just doing nothing. I can't even tell you how much artifice you have to put in to do just a crappy one-liner. Not even that you have to, but that is expected of you in certain auditions or for certain pieces. I love this kind of stripped away acting and storytelling. It's such a relief.
I think we have to switch here. Why? I don't know why, we just do.
Look how muted. It's your girl, Eliza Hittman.
You going to New York?
Yeah.
Freaking love New York.
Dude.
The city's set up and everything, you're forced to interact with people where it's just nothing like you.
Is he, like,
Kinda like
quoting
this
Crash or something?
Well, if you give me your number, I'll text you the info. Maybe you'll change your mind.
Wow, just that easy. Gonna give him a fake. I mean, she's not, because it's like a film and they had, you know, you need to have important relationships constructed in a film, but IRL, it would have been a fake number. Rarely will you ever see as ugly and imposing, cold, sterile, lifeless rendition of New York as you will in Eliza Hittman films. Ooh, cool. She's getting, you know, I saw it a bit from the jump in It Felt Like Love to Beach Rats, but she's getting artsy-fartsy with some of these insert shots.
Can you tell me how to get to 44 Court Street?
Yeah. Take the A or C downtown, get up at J.
J Street Metrotech? So, are they going to a clinic in Brooklyn? Are there no clinics in Manhattan? I don't want this to turn into that kind of movie viewing where I just like systematically kind of evaluate the verisimilitude of a New York film, but just know that's part of what I'm experiencing on the inside. If this could turn into like, not that it should, but if this were to turn into some sort of like travelogue comedy, like what's Martin Scorsese's movie? Night Shift? What's it called? But basically just like a movie of them like constantly being unable to get to where they need to go. That'd be funny. That'd be a weird turn. I used to work near there.
But I did already take a pregnancy test and I did a sonogram.
Okay, all right, I understand. But we always have to go by the one that we get today.
Oh, girl. Oh, that's not a good look. Truly, truly unfortunate that she... I mean, I'm glad she has her cousin to accompany her, but truly, truly unfortunate that she has to do all of this alone. Just because of friggin' stigma.
The sonogram is showing that you are about 18 weeks. Does that sound about as far along as you thought?
No. The place I went to before said that I was 10 weeks.
Where was that?
Back in my town.
I have a feeling that it was inaccurate. At this specific facility, in-clinic abortions are offered up to 12 weeks after the start date of your last menstrual period. I'm going to send you to our Manhattan facility, and they should be able to take you first thing tomorrow.
I really can't wait until then.
I just don't think it's going to be possible.
Too young to be having to deal with all of this on your own. Yo, parents, don't be shitty to your children. Do not push them into circumstances where they have to figure out all these things on their own. Imagine making eye contact with anybody on the subway. I like kind of wish I knew like a smidgen about Autumn's life. I mean, I know that she's like from a lower class conservative family, and like if I knew just like a hint more about her style and what kind of jewelry she wears, I might have a better sense of her character maybe, but I actually don't know. I feel like in some ways those are just like ornamentations that really wouldn't inform my viewing of this movie. and that the movie can get away with not really knowing anything about their characters and just following the through line of their actions instead. I just don't know if that would actually enhance the story or not, or if I just want it because it would increase my enjoyment or investment. Really, in Manhattan.
Autumn?
Probably, for the best, but this movie does cut out a quintessential part of the New York experience, which is waiting an interminable amount of time.
You sort out the payment for today.
After Hours, that's the name of the Martin Scorsese film.
If I do this, would my parents get some kind of bill?
They'd get a statement. That's correct.
Wait, why didn't she go through this at the Brooklyn place? Like, they took her sonogram.
Counselor. How are you doing?
Okay.
Because you're 18 weeks, you're in the second trimester, this is going to be a 2-day procedure, okay?
Is there any way you can do it all in one day?
Ooh.
Unfortunately, it has to be done over the course
Just
of
like
3 days.
slowly ramping up the
Will you
anxiety.
be able to come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
I also need to know that you're absolutely sure of your decision to terminate this pregnancy.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you sure of your decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like how
Is it
kind of
food
like
for-
how procedural they're making this out. Like
Can you tell me what led to your decision to terminate the pregnancy?
I just love how understated everything is. It's just like making you as the
Whatever your decision is totally
as a
fine,
viewer
as long as
fill
it's
it in
yours.
with your own like feelings of unnerve and
Is there
tension.
anyone who-
All you need is time. Time is ramping up the
I'm gonna ask you
anxiety.
some questions about your medical history. Okay, there's lots of questions. Just answer as best you can.
This is the waiting thing about being
Do you take
in New
any
York.
medication or
The
use
waiting
any
thing
drugs
is
on
the
a
thing
regular
that's like
basis?
that makes you
Taken any
anxious,
medication before, like
and the anxiety of
anemia,
having to
asthma, high blood
take
pressure,
these procedures
anything
and
like
have
that?
to have it
Okay.
withheld.
Are you allergic to any medication?
No.
Hospital for
If the
anything?
procedure was
Nope.
You
easy
ever had
and well
anesthesia before?
facilitated,
No.
No?
then
Okay.
perhaps it wouldn't be
Anyone in your
as
family diabetes, high blood
traumatic an
pressure?
experience.
And at what age did you first have sex?
14.
Okay. And what types of sexual activity have you had? Vaginal, anal, oral? And how many sexual partners do you currently have? And could your partner have any other partners that you're aware of?
Probably.
Okay.
See, at this point,
how
I
many
actually do
sexual
like
partners
how
next?
anonymous they've kept her
2.
character
How about in your lifetime?
at this point.
6.
Okay.
Like having all of
Other
this
questions?
information come as new.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't know. It's just like
I want to spend a few minutes talking with you about your relationships, okay? Because they can affect your health. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and all you have to do is answer either never, rarely, sometimes, or always. It's kind of like multiple choice, but it's not a test.
Okay.
Okay? In the past year, your partner has refused to wear a condom. Never, rarely,
just like delivering all of her characters,
always.
her personal history
Sometimes.
just through this,
And your partner messes with your birth control or tries to get you pregnant when you don't
just
wanna be.
through this.
Your partner's threatened or frightened you? Never? Rarely?
Why are you asking me this?
I want to make sure that you're safe. Is someone hurting you? It's okay. It's just a couple more questions, all right? It's okay. I want to make sure you're safe, and I want to help you if I can. I have just one more question for you. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to tell me about it?
No.
It's okay. I'm going to give you my number, and you can call me. We don't have to talk about it today, but you can call me if you need to talk or if you need some help, okay?
Okay. To be honest, this is one of those moments where I wish I could just be watching this movie on my own right now and not have to explain my reactions or emotions for the purposes of a video. I'm just trying to remember that the reason I do this is to be an advocate for this stuff. So even if I can't enjoy it or understand it to the degree that I usually would want to in the privacy of my own, viewing from home. I want to speak as an advocate for these movies because when they're good, they are so good. And if you have the opportunity to watch these um, on your own, you really should. And if you just need somebody to tell you to watch them, uh, well, then I'll do that. I already had an idea that there would be a scene like this based off of the name of the movie, and I figured there would be some sort of questionnaire that the character would be asked. But I was really taken by surprise by this, even though kind of like stylistically I knew this would be what this scene was. It would be a questionnaire where the character would have a breakdown being asked certain like intimate or private questions. I just loved how understated it was. I loved how this healthcare provider was completely on her side and wanted to be there for her the entire time. I love that Autumn isn't having a breakdown. She's for me, the revelation she has is like the embarrassment that these things are real, that they happen to her, and that if she says it out loud, it'll make it real. And I think that's really true to life and representative of the kinds of emotions and thought processes that people go through that is so intimate and so close and true and real, and not kind of like the melodramatic way that film sometimes interprets emotions in order to make it as plain and presentational to an audience as possible. I also thought this was like a vastly sophisticated artistic decision on Hittman's part to present this as plainly as possible. That is very, very, very much the right choice, and as a viewer, it seems so obvious that you just go the straight tone route. You don't try and like accessorize it or ornamentalize it in any way whatsoever. You just present the scene as one continuous take, and not in a True Detective or a 1917 kind of way. You just leave the camera alone with the performance, and it just like builds up in its own quiet intensity. But I wanted to say it's such an extreme decision on the part of Hittman because she's such a young filmmaker, and while it seems like an obvious choice, it's an incredibly daring and brave one, because you're never going to feel like you're never going to know until you do it whether or not you're going to get it. And Hittman, previous to this, even if I'd say she's like a director that wants to show very grounded, very muted, understated human portraits, filmically, artistically, I would say she does kind of fall back on a sort of stylism and an impressionistic shorthand that she can use to kind of represent the feelings or emotions of her protagonists when they can't verbalize it themselves. But in this, she has to give up all of those techniques and all that artifice. I'm not even saying artifice in a bad way. It's just the style that she's developed previous to this, and just lay it all down. And it's such an incredibly honestly brave decision on her part. The belief she has in the humanity of this scene, and how deeply it must be felt by anybody who's experienced it, and anybody who is performing it, and anybody who is watching it. There's just such a profound sense of humanity and simplicity in this scene. And I can't tell you how much I wish I could have just watched it and reveled it on my own. But failing that, you should definitely watch this movie. If you haven't already, give it a watch. It was such a good choice not to develop her backstory her character at all before this, and just have it like all come out during that questionnaire.
Do you want me to call my mom? No.
Dun, dun, dun. Connection to Unleashed, starring Jet Li. I believe this is the piano piece that was played at the end of the movie. Oh god, Port Authority sucks. Look at me, randomly walking. Bet you didn't expect to see me.
So the show was like super fun. It was more like an event than a show.
Yeah,
It
totally.
was in I mean, this city has a lot of secrets. Subterranean levels.
Okay. Okay, weird Philly boy. Imagine going on a date at Port Authority. How awful. We don't want it. We don't want it. Let's just find you a bed. I can't. I just honestly can't believe their phones have been charged this entire time.
Autumn? Mom? Are you okay?
It's not the things you say, it's not the things you do. There must be something more. And if I feel this way for so long.
I really don't do karaoke unless I'm really drunk.
Oh, okay. Should I order more drinks?
Great, we're gonna do the scene from Marriage Story. Being alive. What poor circumstances to have to elicit the affections of a man while chaperoning your cousin to across state lines to get an abortion.
We lost our bus tickets, and it got super late, and we don't have anyone to call. Could we?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Just come with me downtown and we can stop at an ATM on the way.
I wish we could. It sounds great, but it's okay. Okay.
Come.
Okay.
Don't hold her hand, it's weird. They're cousins. They're not friends. They're cousins. I actually feel like this kind of undermines the story a little bit because, I don't know. I feel like having this, like the pivotal scene of this movie focus on Autumn's like own admittance of the negative effects of being forced into sexual situations by her partner. I get that it's like this weird kind of nebulous moral gray zone where she's like where she and her cousin have been forced into a situation where Skylar has to kind of do something similar in order to get the money for a bus pass, but I don't know. It feels like, for me, betrays the sentiment of the film by putting this artificial barrier for them that they have to like overcome by submitting to another unwanted sexual experience, and it like undermines her journey that she like made the decision to give her cousin over
Pain,
to
cramping,
that.
bleeding overnight. You ready?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell me your name, birth date, and what procedure you're having?
My name is Autumn Callahan, August 19th, 2002. And what did you just ask me?
What procedure are you having?
Have they not said it this entire movie?
I'm having an abortion.
Do you have any questions
No,
before we start?
no. The clinician in Pennsylvania said it too. But it's important that she verbalizes it, I guess.
Thanks.
I have to say that my hospital gown was nowhere near that cleanly. But, whatever.
You okay?
Yeah.
Are you?
So how was it?
She's a brick and I'm drowning slowly.
Like, what was it like?
It's kind of whatever.
How do you feel now?
Tired?
It's like a bug.
Yeah. Really pulley.
Yeah. A delicious one.
We could all use some bread right now, honestly. I just want to eat a whole big thing of bread after watching this movie. Why did they bring that along with them? What a beautiful, natural transition of lighting. Oh man. So definitely I would say that this was Eliza Hittman's most spare work. Almost entirely devoid of commentary or qualification. Oh, that's cool. Barry Jenkins was the producer. Oh. Hélène Lovar. That's cool. Okay. Oh, is this like an all-female production team? Not the editing, but apart from that, yeah, the costume designer, production designer, cinematographer, and also the music was almost all female team. That's cool. I want to say unqualifyingly, this is probably Eliza Hittman's best movie up to date. I just want to say, knowing that it's her best work, I want to take this opportunity to be a little bit more critical. I feel like I didn't need the Skylar Jasper thing subplot to happen. I get that Hitman wanted to up the ante and up the stakes, but I didn't feel like it needed to be there. I feel like it was a diversion from the real kind of streamlined, concentrated story of the film, which was the kind of naturally occurring barrier to entry that Autumn is experiencing and trying to gain access to this abortion. I can kind of see how it's playing on the same themes, and it's also from a script writing standpoint, it provides the necessary plot progression or leverage by which Skylar and Autumn can solidify their relationship. They definitely needed an arc to their relationship, something to culminate in, and there isn't that naturally in the script itself, so this was kind of inserted as a means of them bonding over the lengths to which Skylar will go to protect and ensure the safety of Autumn. But I personally feel like it runs contrary to the journey that Autumn is going through, and the kind of understanding and kind of acceptance she has of sexual coercion that she's faced in her life, and I just don't feel like she would want that for her cousin. And the fact that she volunteers her cousin to do it, I get it that she did it out of extreme duress and exhaustion, but I kind of feel like it runs contrary to the arc that her character is undergoing, and honestly just felt a little just a little contrived and needlessly dramatic in a film that had made such good use of simplicity and precision. But this was genuinely one perfect scene. I almost felt like the entire movie, for as good as it is, and for as many good decisions went into various parts of it, it all seems like kind of set dressing to get to this one perfect scene that is so immensely filmic, immensely theatrical, and barely anything happens in it. Yeah, it's a great film. You should watch it. I'm just completely exhausted at the end of it, and I need to go lie down and not think about anything for a while. So yeah, if you enjoyed that, please click the like button and subscribe for more old, obscure, and art house films. I can't think anymore. I'm done. Please, please support Planned Parenthood. Please support Planned Parenthood. And until next time, keep watching good movies.